Across America today, ceremonies were held to honor the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of our country. But when a life is lost in the line of duty, it's not always brought back home. Soldiers missing in action or soldiers whose remains are not identified can result in years of unresolved feelings for their family. Some question if their loved one is really gone, and many hold on to the hope that one day they might come home. As Connecting Point's Ross Lipman shows us in Pittsfield, a family has gone 8 decades asking some of those very questions. And just a few months ago, they finally got answers about the day that led the United States to enter World War II and the 18-year-old that they lost.
When Pearl Harbor was bombed, everybody in the country knew it.
President Roosevelt said in a statement today that the Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, from the air.
What they didn't know was who's missing, who's accounted for.
Every time I asked a question, I got tears, no details. I can only guess that it was because of my uncle's death in Pearl Harbor. You know, he had died at such a young age, at 18 years old, and it was just a grief that the family never got over.
Navy Electrons mate 3rd Class Roman W. Sedlowski, known as Raymond by his family, was aboard the USS Oklahoma on December 7th, 1941. It's Raymond's last day on Earth.
It was hard to get information about my Uncle Raymond. His picture was up on a wall in the dining room, and every time I asked, about him, tears would stream down my grandmother's face, and same with my mom. You know, he was close to his family. He was a devout Catholic. He started working at General Electric, which is local, industrial town, and for whatever reason, joined the Navy at a very young age. And that's what I know about him.
In Pittsfield, the Sedlowskis are left with a letter from President Roosevelt, but Roman's body left unaccounted for, a tally that would rise to over 72,000 soldiers during World War II.
That effect has to be, obviously is very devastating to the family members. The trepidation that came with that had to be tremendous. It had to be, the waiting to hear that call. They wait and wait and wait and wait.
Then, this past December, 77 years later, Raymond Sedlowski's remains are identified in Hawaii, closing a circle that outlived most of Raymond's immediate family, leaving Dennis Arsenault, his nephew and last living local relative, with the final pieces of Sedlowski's past.
My first thoughts when I saw the Purple Heart, that it's a medal. It's meaningless without context. His name is printed on the back, but looking at it, you don't fully understand the sacrifice he made. It wasn't just someone who was injured in battle; he was killed in battle. At 18.
It was in the final years of Jessie Arsenault's life, the daughter of Mary and Valentine, brother of Raymond, that she gives her son Dennis the Purple Heart, birth certificate, and letter from President Roosevelt. The weight of these 3 items Dennis suspects she carried for a long time.
My mom was very educated. She was smart. My dad hadn't graduated from high school, and he came from a rough side of town. And, an outside observer would never understand the connection or what brought them together. But he was a disabled veteran from the Pacific, returning after spending a year in San Diego. He was severely wounded in battle. And I think my mom saw him as my uncle, saw a little bit of him. And I think that was the tie. I wish that my grandmother had known that his remains were identified meant he was truly dead. She never knew that.
For Dennis, one more question remains left unanswered. The surviving members of Raymond's family can now choose where his remains should go, which includes here in Pittsfield, alongside Raymond's parents.
Having remains be placed on top of his mother and father's remains, to me, might not be the right place for him. You know, I think that his place and time was at Pearl Harbor, and you know, if and when I get a vote, that's probably what I will vote for. Yeah.